official welcome to our space.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Feel part of the family of these game changers. We are identifying these different innovative people around the world, and from the many discussions that we have, I found that you are one of those. So I would like to ask you to introduce a little bit yourself, who you are, what do you do, and whatever you want to tell us about you, and just to start this interview, this conversation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you first for inviting me.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here and to be next to other people doing the same things, working together towards this. So who am I? My name is Diaconu. Now I'm working in Norway in the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. I started, my background is in communication and public relations, international project management. I'm originally from Romania, but I moved in Europe because I wanted to see more on the innovation and especially looking at the different sectors linked with health, with technologies, with smart city and smart development. Worked in European funding for more than 15 years.
Okay, you are experienced one?
Yes, and now I'm doing a PhD in innovation and exploitation of research because I worked with governments. I worked in the Romanian government, in the Scottish government, and then I also worked with businesses in Romania, in Spain, in Brussels, and in Norway, and also in the university. So then I've seen a couple of worlds that sometimes connect, sometimes they disconnect, sometimes collide. And I was like, okay, how can we bring this closer? And especially also, like, how can they bring them closer to the society?
So you are coming from the practice to the theory and learning from the two worlds. How can we merge the two things? Because this is something that has triggered me for many, many years. I'm also doing this, just coming from one side to the other and backwards. So that's how it came to you that now is a PhD, just reflecting on the learnings.
Yes. I thought it will be easier because I said I've done it in practice.
All right.
How I can do it, like put the practice in theory and then put the theory back into practice.
Yes.
And it's easy in a way that, for me, it's in a way easy because I was like, I know what are some challenges, some needs, and how we put this in the theory for also have a ground, a framework that will be like a stepping stone and then developing further. But then I hit the wall because in the theory it's like we do have already the theories and we do have already the things and we do it like this. We don't want to change, and it's like, yes, that's why we need to move from theory to practice and the other way around. So it's always like you're saying, you move there and then back and there and back. So it's like a dance that you have
the
to
dancing
do.
thing, I like it. Yes.
That you have to do always, and change partner, because it's like once you partner with the theory or with academia, and then you partner with the industry and you partner between them. So it's
the dances changes.
Yes, the dancer is changes, the music is changing. Sometimes it's faster or slower.
You need to encompass the rhythms.
Yes.
And so I like this metaphor. We are going to use it.
That with the people around, with the society at large. So for example, in academia, we're talking now about science communication more and more and more. So then you can make your mission immediately next to you when you publish an article in a journal, in Nature or whatever. How you make that into science communication towards a greater public? Because researchers, we are 2% in the world works in academia. And from this 2%, probably 0.01 will read your paper. How do you bring it to the greater, wider society? And so if you make that's your first step. You look at yourself, what am I doing? How can I extend this to more? And then once you do that, maybe a business
where do you want to reach? Because I think this is important when you are thinking in changing something. You need to have a vision for a change.
Yeah.
But our purpose at Eoh-for-Good is to join in the dots so that we exchange these good and bad practices, the things that are working, the things that we try and didn't work.
Decide to share what didn't work.
Yes.
Because we tend to share what it worked, but to write to something that works, there is a lot of fails, and then we need to recognize them for ourselves, but also share with the community. Say, I took this road, it didn't work, or it didn't work in my setup. Try it in your setup, but just be aware that it didn't work. But let's go to the positive ones first, because we like the positive ones.
First the vision.
First
where do you want to reach, and then
change, to try to change the culture into having young researchers thinking more about what they are doing as a potential innovation, as a potential change that can come to the society faster than it's now. And then we are looking at how we can change first the competencies and what we need in the innovation process. We know that we know how it is, the innovation process.
Yes.
We have the 4 steps with different things between, like from the ideation to the development, testing, and market, with different things between.
Yeah.
But then all this, they require some knowledge, some skills, and something else. What is that something else?
All right.
What is that anymore?
That's the question in your thesis,
Yes.
right? Okay.
What is that, and how can we bring that in these steps and in the organization? So looking at the individual level, at the organization level, and then how it brings it into the society,
into the system.
The system. It's trust, especially because you work in a domain, maybe you work in a domain where also your colleagues work in a domain. But then what we also try to push is like, go out of your domain and
out of your comfort zone.
Out of your comfort zone, but also out of your domain, and collaborate with other fields to create something that has an impact. Like you take the little things and then you solve something, and then you forget the bigger part, picture where you wanted to arrive. Because the society was built, and we are still into this part of, we work like firefighters. There is a fire somewhere, or there is a need somewhere, and we all jumped there.
And we move,
and we all move all the resources and everything there. And then we put this, and then it's like, oh yeah, now we can relax. And we can think about the beer, and then it's a fire somewhere else, and so on. So we jump into technologies immediately. Oh, there is any technologies. Let's use it. And maybe let's take a step back.
Reflection.
And reflect, gather the stakeholders, test, see how it is, and see a bit, wait to see a bit the potential effects.
What is, in your opinion, a successful innovation ecosystem?
Successful innovation ecosystem. Okay, it's you consider all the actors that could first help you to develop whatever you want, and then that will be impacted positively by what you're doing. So and I will add this, why will there be interested in being with you? Because if you have this ingredient, then they will come. So the success is in the why will I for you.
Okay, of course. This is always
and I will also answer the challenge. I haven't prepared it, but this is something that I do, and I don't know if you've seen my talks or something. Sometimes if it's, you don't remember anything of what we talked until now.
No.
Just what will be your word that you're going to want to leave the people with, or a word or an expression that if they forget about the 1 hour that we talked here, what shall they take home with them from this 1 hour?
We need to dance together.
Okay, so let's dance together.
Here we are.
Into this one.
Thank you very much, Mara.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you are welcome.